Um, good good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For me, the only way we can actually rescue Nigeria, the only way we can rescue Nigeria and Nigerians fastest is if we decide to sincerely invest at least 40% of all our expenditures, annual expenditures, on social investments. And what are social investments? Education and health. And what prompted this? Over the last 1 week, I have had to spend unplanned funds, hundreds of thousands of naira unplanned expenses on people who are sick, who needed urgent medical attention, and who could not afford it, and they cried out for help and all those stuff. And after spending those funds, and I look back and I said, where we have strong medical programs, health programs and policies, and where we have deepened health insurance schemes in the system, most of the monies I will have spent a fraction of it where we have universal health insurance coverage in Nigeria, and where we have many more health services providers, that are properly equipped, and where we have cost of Medicare properly subsidized in the real sense of it. The best investments any nation can make is investment in health and education. Go check the 20 most industrialized, highly developed economies. They invest so much on social investments, on health and education. In fact, they do a lot to subsidize health for their people. That is why in some of these countries you have life expectancy of 85 years, 70 years. In Nigeria, life expectancy is between 52, 55 years. In South Korea, in Singapore, life expectancy is over 80 years. And we can do the same thing if we do the right things. I saw the federal government of Nigeria budget for 2024. They only made available, appropriated only budgeted for only 1.3 trillion naira for health out of a budget of 28 trillion. That's a paltry 4.6%. And this is the same government in 2001, 2001, they gathered in Abuja. 2011, they gathered in Abuja, where they had their declaration that every African state must invest at least 15% of their expenditures on health. But we did only 4.6%. Education was even worse. Why am I saying? Anyway, we can't keep on, lamenting without profiling solutions. And that is what we do every time we do these video clips. We profile credible solutions. One of the shortest paths to creating long-term investable funds for infrastructure development, for critical funding needs, to meet the critical funding of one of the greatest media to attract or to raise long-term huge capital is through the health insurance market and the insurance market proper, and then the pension fund regime. Look around you. Switzerland with GDP of $880 billion. Their pension fund assets is over $1.3 trillion. Their capital market is within that range too. Look at South Africa, GDP of about $370-something billion. Their pension fund assets is over $174 billion. Their health insurance market is so deep. Over 85% of South Africans are covered under the health insurance arrangement. 83% are covered. Their capital market is so deep, about $1.2 trillion. In Nigeria, what do we have? Our pension fund assets is about just $18 billion. Our capital market is hovering around $55 billion. Giant of Africa, we claim. So what do we do? I did an off-the-cuff analysis. One thing we've not been able to do here is to provide health insurance cover, and then for most Nigerians, especially those at the lower base of the socio-economic pyramid. And we have not also tried to provide adequate regulation and handshake between health insurance providers and the health services providers, because I sit on the board of a clinic a 3-branch clinic here in Lagos, and I know what the operators of that clinic, they suffer so much to before they collect their monies from the health insurance providers. In fact, the clinic, in some instances, there are some health insurance providers that are owing the clinic almost for the past 1 year. Premium that are services they rendered, but the health insurance providers have not paid them, and the regulators are not doing their best to ensure a handshake, a seamless handshake between health services providers and the insurance providers. And they have not also done anything to deepen that market, and that is where I come in. Over 197 million Nigerians are today living in poverty. For if you don't understand it clearly. By the World Bank indicators, those who live below poverty are those that live at income level of $2.15 per day or $64.50. And if you multiply it, let's do some little calculation. Today, exchange rate is 1525. 1525 times 64.5 is simply, if you're earning anything less than 99,000 naira, 100,000 naira a month, you're poor. You belong to the poverty class by the World Bank indicator. So basically, even by the cost of living in Nigeria, somebody that earns 100,000, how much will he invest in health? I've had incidents of people calling me, oh, they've admitted my this, my that, and I have to pay bill of 300,000 naira, bill of 200,000 naira. And you ask yourself, this is somebody, people that earn 80,000, 100,000 a month, where would they get the money? So that is where health insurance cover comes in. The government is doing that. Anyway, on the private sector front, we are working, my team, we are working to get one of the biggest reinsurance companies in the whole world to come here in Nigeria to partner with them to drive retail health insurance cover for Nigerians. Retail health insurance cover where people can contribute 2,500 naira every month, and they will be entitled to health insurance cover of almost about 200 to 300,000 naira per annum. So basically, think about this. If we are able to aggregate and provide this minimum health insurance cover over the next 6 months, if government supports us, just think about it. You know, we see people, oh, we are doing medical tourism, we are doing medical intervention, we are doing medical outreaches. Medical outreaches, you give them paracetamol, and then the next year, whatever happens to them. If you are sincere, you want to do medical outreach, we are going to be doing it. People adopt people. The scheme is going to be very massive. 2,500 naira monthly premium contribution. In a year, it's 30,000, and it titles the health insurance person that has a coverage of over 200, 300,000 naira. So in case of emergency, the person can easily go to clinics, have some good diagnostics, and have some good Medicare, so that we at least extend the life expectancy of Nigerians, extend it higher to at least 60-65% rather than the 52. Most people are dying aimlessly. Avoidable deaths. There are many avoidable deaths. People just stand up and slump and they die. People just complain because these are accumulated things, because they don't have the money, so they'll resort to all manner of self-help. People drink agbo and all manner of things. So we are trying to provide. So, like I said, you heard it here first. We are working on a restructured arrangement to bring in one of the biggest insurance companies in the whole world, partner with some of the local health insurance providers, identified ones who are very, very serious, to deepen it. We are going to be going to the market union, cooperatives, the artisans, vulcanizers, mechanics, traders, even civil servants. All you need to do is 2,000, 2,500 naira premium contribution. You have a health insurance cover that covers you for a package of at least 300,000 naira per annum, so that if you run into health emergency, you'll be able to have yourself taken care of. Of course, this thing will aggregate over in the minimum, this thing will aggregate over 5.9 to 6 trillion naira, bigger than all the budgets aggregated by the budget provision for health by the federal government and all the 36 states of Nigeria and local governments, 774 local governments that are put together. So this is our own contribution. Because whenever I see this kind of challenges, I've been thinking, and I ask myself, how long can we continue this through this path? Only about 2 or 1% of Nigerians can actually fund their health needs in this country, and that's how unfortunate it is. So imagine if those people that were calling me and they didn't have somebody like me to at least attend to them. But how long? How many people can I attend to? So rather than, okay, but like I said, over the last 1 month, we've spent over tens of millions of naira attending to medical emergencies of people who could not afford to take care of themselves. Now, imagine if we have, if such arrangement had been in place, with 30 million naira, I and my group can provide health insurance cover for at least 1,000 people. With 30 million naira, I and my group, we can decide every year we will dedicate 30 million naira annually as part of our corporate social responsibility to provide micro health insurance coverage for at least 1,000 people. If every other well-to-do person, every other person above the bottom of the socio-economic pyramid decide to adopt one person, if you decide to adopt one person, that's okay. This year I'm doing providing health insurance cover for just 5 people. That is 150k a year, and that is 150k a year will give you. You decide, okay, I earn a little above the average earner in Nigeria, so I want to dedicate 150k of my annual salary to provide health insurance cover for some people. This thing will give you 30,000. You provide health insurance cover for at least 5 people. 5 people that will live, that will have their health improved, that will not die prematurely through avoidable health issues because somebody decided to sacrifice 150k of his money to provide annual health insurance cover for 5 people. 30k will provide health insurance cover under the micro arrangement we are bringing in. This the reinsurance company we are going to work with, one of the biggest in the whole world, and they've been doing it in their environment, in their countries and other countries. So bringing them to Nigeria is part of our little private sector led contribution, just to ensure that our people live well. At least we are intervening in the agri sector to ensure that we provide good, cheap, organic food for our people. So when they eat well, they have health insurance cover that provide health insurance for them. They can have it, so they will live longer. So everybody, everybody who loves God and who loves humanity must think creatively. How do we provide solutions? One thing I realized that once I'm having this the distressing feeling about the weight and the yoke of the demands and the burden and the pains of the average Nigerian, God will always drop creative ideas and we begin to work on it. So you will hear it. We are going to set up an app that will drive it. We are going to be providing micro health insurance cover for those at the lower base of the economic pyramid. 2,500 naira a month contribution, health insurance contribution will give you 200,000, 300,000 naira health cover, health package cover for you. May God help us. Thank you and God bless.